There was a lot of struggles making this film. With filming, in particular, it was the lighting situation kept um, not working. We rented a storage unit and it didn't have lights in it. I found out later that you could have gotten a unit that had lights in it, but I didn't realize that at the time when I got this one. And the lights would dim out after a couple hours because we bought LED lights that were battery powered and would magnetize, and we would stick them to the ceiling. And over a couple hours, those lights would start dimming. So we had to keep going back and buying like 30 packs of batteries and stuff. We had to make like 4 trips doing that, just getting 30 packs of 4 pack AAA batteries. And luckily that wasn't too bad because we got them from a dollar store. So it was about like $40 to get 30 packs. But it was just a struggle to have to keep going back to get more batteries and then having to change them out and move them around every couple hours to make sure that the lighting would remain. And because the lights would dim so quickly, especially the first day of shooting, it took us a while to realize that they were dimming out, and a lot of the footage was very underexposed, and that underexposure created problems in post. Another struggle that we had to face while filming was the mirror didn't crack, the mirror didn't shatter. I had made these knuckle covers to break the mirror and punch the mirror, hoping that it would shatter the mirror, and it didn't shatter the mirror. It didn't do anything. We tried everything to just break the mirror, and eventually I had to use the mic stand itself because I was weighted, so I slammed that down twice to actually crack the mirror. So that took a bit of time to figure out and to get that going. Using a dolly system was a struggle sometimes because it wouldn't smoothly roll on this surface sometimes. And making the mannequin actually fall down and stay intact when Michael tackles the mannequin, his head kept popping off, his arms kept popping off, so we had to like duct tape the head on to make sure it would stay. We had to make sure everything would stay in place, so we had to carefully but forcefully throw the mannequin with Michael down on the ground, and that was a struggle. Making the room itself was a struggle, trying to stay up. I built flats for the one wall, and that was connected to bracers in the back, and that held up fairly nicely. The rest of the wall panels were held up with Velcro against the actual walls, and then everything was like secured together with Gorilla Tape. Very DIY stuff, but I think it turned out fairly well and decent, and looks pretty seamless, and I think it gives the feel that I was going for the film. Another big problem we had to face was the bald cap. The seams weren't blended nicely. The thing kept slipping and having to be reapplied every like 10 minutes because of the sweat, and it was just the middle of summer, so it's just really hot in the unit, and so we had to keep reapplying the bald cap and reapplying makeup and making sure that it kept staying and would look decent enough on film, and then have to fix it in post. But having to do that every couple minutes definitely took a lot of time away from the filming process. Crawling into the lake was a big struggle too. We wanted to make sure that we got that quick and was in and out, and the water was very murky, and it kept trying to pull me up when I was underneath it, and so I had to pull myself down by a log to make sure that I was underneath the water enough to be able to submerge myself and emerge from it. And that was a struggle. Throw myself down the cliff. I had to do that 3 times to make sure that it looked decent enough for the film. No, that was a fun experience. the fake vomit that we did was very sticky, and we had to make sure that we were careful where we walked and where we set down equipment to make sure that it wouldn't track and that we wouldn't ruin our clothes or ruin the camera or the mic or anything that we're using at the time. Um, all the setup stuff and the makeup bags and stuff. The makeup for his diseased look, for Michael's diseased look, it took 3 hours to put it all together and stuff, and it was a very tedious process, especially filming over several days. I had to go in and try to recreate the veins exactly where they were and make sure everything looked consistent enough and make sure everything was blended properly and everything was the same for all filming days that we did. I think we filmed all the 6 scenes over the course of 4 days. So there was definitely a lot of struggles having to make this film, but it was fun overall.